Mr. Rudy Salam
Ma'am,
Silukwa.
again you are missing.
Oh my God. What do I do now? So I'll just introduce him and then I'll switch on my camera.
Okay, yes, you can.
He was born on April 4th, 1986 in Indonesia. He has been teaching English as an English teacher for more than 10 years and has been working as a lecturer for more than 5 years. He likes some topics for presentation in seminars or workshops. He often presents topic about English teaching, research, communication skills, leadership, public public speaking, neuro-linguistic programming, personal development, etc. All in all, he tries to give his best to his students. Indeed, learning from a kind teacher like him must be enjoyable to all of his students. Sir, I'm looking forward to your talk. Please, sir, enlighten us, and the stage is all yours.
Please unmute, sir.
Okay, good evening all. Am I audible?
So, just a bit increase the volume.
Here's the volume, yeah, wait. Already maximal. Okay, am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Now I'm going to present a good topic, especially for teachers in the classroom. The topic is effective communications in the classroom skills for teachers. Let me discuss a little bit, okay, and let me share about knowledge about communications in the classrooms. The first one, what is communications, or why many teachers need communicate with others effectively? The first one is by using a variety of media to stimulate pupils and achieve the objects of lessons. This is why many teachers need to communicate effectively. For example, a good teacher in the classroom try to give the best, try to explain about the good topic to the students. So if the teachers don't have good communications, how come to explain about the topic, about the material? So we have a good topic, but how to deliver this material by using a good language to the students in the classroom? That is why any teachers must be able to have good communications in Hindi language, in Bahasa Indonesia, in English, if you have English class. By using variety of media, a good teacher tries to give the best, tries to stimulate, try to give the solutions, try to give a good explanations to all the students in the classroom. Okay, next, effective communications in the classroom. Okay, there are many kinds of the things in the classroom. The first one is about honesty, and then broadcasting, receiving different pupils, and then pupils versus problems, and the next one two-way, personal presentation, voice productions, and etc. You can see in my slides. So all of them are very important for teachers when a teacher tries to give or to explain some good materials in the classroom. So this is what we call as effective classroom communications. So a good communications, there must be two ways, not only one. So teachers and then the students must be active. So a good teacher is not like this one, just keep just saying something, just talking something, but there is no good interaction from the students. So if we are talking something, it means the students will be interested with the topics we are presenting in the classroom. Sometimes it takes place in the classroom as I'm an English lecturer, and then I give the micro teaching to my students, and then a student tries to give or to present a good materials to the students. But the reality, not every student can be interested with the material. So if the students doesn't interested with the are not interested with the topic, so the mistakes is not from the students, but the problems are from the teachers. A good communication also we try to give the best solutions when communication takes place. So students in the classroom must be able to understand well. So when we are talking about something, the content of the materials must be understood clearly. That is why when we are presenting, when we are teaching about something, every words, every language must be delivered well to our students. And the next one, what are communication skills? Okay, there are two parts. The first one we call as a transmissions and then reception. So a speaker try to transmit a message to the audience, especially in the public speaking aspects. Okay, a good speaker try to deliver a good message to the audience. So in this classroom, the message will be transmitted to the students. So who is receptor? We call it a receptor. The receptor is the student. Sometimes the students give the interactions or the response, and then the teachers will be a receptor. But generally, a teacher is the transmitter for the learning process when we are explaining about something, and then the students will be the receptor. So both of them are balanced. So not only a transmitter, but also as a receptor. So we call this process as transmissions and then reception. Sometimes something happens in our daily lives. There is a message and then it is not delivered well to the audience. Why? Because there is a problem. The problem going to a good understanding of the students or the audience, because when we have less understanding, it means we are not able to understand deeply about the message. That is why we need to have more knowledge about topics, about materials, and etc. Okay, with whom it will be taken place? The first one, pupils, okay, or students. And the second one, colleges, managers, classrooms, assistants, visiting specialists, language specialists, and etc. And the next one, parents and others. A good teacher must be able to communicate with many people, not only to the students, sometimes with the colleges or with the teachers in the office, in the school environment. And the next one is with the parents. Sometimes there is a problem, will be something to be discussed with the teachers and the parents, so there will be good communication. So how come we can explain about topic, about materials, about problem, if we have less ability in communication? So a good teacher must be communicative. Why? When we are delivering something, when we are delivering message, so this message will be delivered well to many people, sometimes to the students, to the parents, with the colleges, and etc. I think that building good communication is not easy, and that is not hard. It depends on our experience. Like myself, I have been a public speaker more than 10 years. I think I still have less communication or less knowledge. Why? So that is why I keep learning. Yes, a good speaker is a good learner. And the next one, this is the process of transmission. We can see the picture, okay, looking up the picture, the word is only 7%, and one, non-verbal communication or body language, 5%, and tone of voice, the way spoken is 38%. So the total number or the maximal practice is by using non-verbal, because communications generally can be applied, can be used by using non-verbal system. If we try to make into the written communications, I think sometimes we can write down and then send the letter or maybe send the information to our colleges and etc. And as a the reflection, what types of communication do we use? Okay, this is a good question. The first one, what types of communication do you use? Okay, this is my question. Okay, you can answer. Just type. And the second one, what do you hear yourself saying, see yourself doing? And the third one, describe this to a partner. And the fourth one, identify and script consistently, use phrases or non-verbal routines you use. So four of these questions can be answered with yourself. The first one, what types of communications do you use? It depends on us. But as we know that nonverbal communications is generally used by many people when communications is used by many people. And what do you hear about yourself? Saying, see yourself doing. Okay, you can see yourself in front of the mirror. And the next one is barriers. Okay, if we can see the barriers, the first one, emotional aspects. When you are presenting, when you are speaking some things, you can see your your expressions. If you are too serious to present or to deliver a message, I think that not everyone can be interested with your spoken language. So it depends on the case, it depends on the time, it depends on the situation. Sometimes we can show our serious expression, sometimes we can smile, sometimes we can laugh, and etc. So our surrounding, our situations will be supported our expressions. And the second one, treat the teacher self-esteem. Okay, that is why every teacher must be able to know more about the condition. As a public speaker, the first one, before making a good language, before designing the language, the first one, we must be able to know who are our audience. So we can use the simple language, effective language, or maybe academic speaking, and etc. So speaking to primary school students and then senior high school students is very different. So every teacher must be able to know more the conditions about the situations in the surrounding or in our working area. And the next one is various skills experience. Okay, not everyone can have more skills and experience, but skills or experience can be created. Okay, can be created. So our experience cannot be found, but will be created. Sometimes we find some things, maybe our friends' experience can be told by us, but a good one is by having our self experience. So skills can be formed, can be experienced, can be mixed, and etc. Or train as a professional trainer, we must be able to give or to have more skills. Not only one, but try to add our skills. Communications that creates our reinforced negative behaviors, okay, can be seen. The first one, sarcasm. If you see sarcasm, especially in our country, sometimes it can be taken place, okay, in our surroundings. Sometimes we are going to criticize or maybe sarcasm to criticize someone, etc. So this will give you a negative impact in your life. And then anger, belittling, negative expectations. Okay, never hope more. So negative expectation will give you negative impacts in your life. And the next one is incentive, physical context, overuse a physical size. So sometimes, okay, we are speaking something on the stage, okay, never give overuse of physical size. When we are talking something, just give the expressions, how to deliver, how to have good expression when we are speaking something in front of our audience, in this case, in the classroom. Okay, the next one is communication that promotes positive behavior. Look it up the script. The first one, we need praise. Okay, by giving praise, our students will be interested with our materials. Not only criticize, but please praise them. The next one is affirmations. Okay, affirmations can be given to many people, to our students, to our colleges, and etc. Because this is the greatest energy. And positively states expectations also can be given to all of us, to our students, to every student, and etc. And language of belonging. Language is designed by us to communicate, to transfer something, to deliver something. So by having good communication, especially language, it can be had by many people in interacting with the others. And then language of choice. If we are talking about something, language of choice, okay, it can be acquired by many people when you are talking about something, and etc. And eye contact. eye contact, this is a specific one for a speaker. Why? It can be seen that you are nervous or not. Why? Because it can be seen from your eye contact. You are so serious. Sometimes you cannot. You don't have briefness to see your audience, and then you only focus on seeing the roof, okay, on the top, and then you are not brave to to look at your surrounding and then focus only one direction. But a good speaker, a good teacher, try to see all of the direction, to the right side, to the left side, to the center, behind us, and etc. So this eye contact can give you more spirit to deliver your topic. The next one is physical contact. Okay, sometimes you must be able to save your physical contact. Why? Because this is the key to interact with your students. If you are in the seminar or maybe in the training, you must be able to apply safe physical contact, so there will be good communications. Not separate too far, but try to build safe physical contact to your audience or to your students. And the next one is body language. Every speaker will be understanding about body language. Why? Body language is the key for a public speaker when you are speaking something in front of the audience. In this case, in this classroom. So it is impossible for you. You want to teach something and then your body language, you are too serious, and then there's the body language, you focus on yourself, but never show your expression. So that is why there are many characteristics of the speaker. Sometimes you are too brave, you are too happy, you are too serious, and etc. But it can be combined, every teacher. Like our moderator, the first moderators I see, I really interested with your style. Why? You are a good speaker. You saw your body language, even though this is an online event. So it can be seen that you are an experienced person. Why? Because we keep learning, right? So we can learn from the others. I can learn from the moderator. I can learn from India, and etc. So there are many differences. So how to collaborate, how to combine it to develop our skills. I can learn from another speakers. Okay, sometimes she has as characteristic in the speaking context, so we can combine. Never mind, a good speaker is a good learner. We keep learning, we can collaborate, and etc. We can improve our knowledge, especially skills on developing our English speaking skills or by building the communication for teachers in the classroom. The next one is, okay, look it up the screen. Body language is not only what you say, it's the way that you say it. If you say something, you must be able to direct yourself to make the good position and etc. So awareness of nonverbal behavior allows you to become a better receiver. If you are a good receiver, it means you are a good transmitter. In the classroom, there are two ways of communication. You are not only a transmitter. Sometimes you are transmitter and sometimes you are receiver. Because communications is two-way system. Sometimes you are a listener, sometimes you are a speaker. When your student asks you, you must be able to become a good listener. Okay, and the next one, you will become a better sender of signals that reinforce learner. If you are delivering a message and then your communications or your connection, it means your sender signal, your sender of signals is not good. So your message cannot be transferred well to your students. Especially for the new teacher, okay, she or he is so nervous in delivering or explaining about the topic. That is normal. Okay, if you are nervous for the first time, you are still nervous. Okay, that is normal. For a professional speaker too, okay, sometimes they will have nervousness in their life. Because sometimes our environment, the time, about our minds, about our problem, about our personal problems, sometimes it can affect us. Maybe we need to be more professional, but we are still human. Okay, that is normal if we face nervousness in our life when we are speaking about something. And the third one is increase the degree of perceptual psychological closeness between teacher and pupils. Okay, look it up here. You must be able to perceive psychological closeness. A good teacher, the first one, this is not about how clever you are. but the most important is the first one. How can you build good communications between you and your students? If you have had build a good communications, and the second one, you can transfer the knowledge. So in the reality, many teachers or smart teachers, okay, they can understand how they can do something, but it's very hard for them to transfer the knowledge to the students, especially by good the communication in the classroom. And the next one, okay, and negative verbal behaviors, inconsistent or hidden message. We are not consistent. And then rudeness, raise voice, okay, always raise voice, okay. So that is why our teacher and our students, okay, don't understand what we are talking about. And then incoherent diction and too much talk, okay, too much talk, but the masses or the materials cannot be taught well. The teacher only keep talking about his or her personal life and etc. This sometimes takes place in our daily life or in our classroom, and inappropriate language or style. So we need to collaborate. We need to know more about the situations in the classroom. And the next one, nonverbal behavior, eye contact, facial expression, gestures, posture and body orientation, proximity, paralinguistics, humor. Sometimes a good teachers need humor, not too serious, but sometimes give the humor to your students. Maybe they are so serious, and then try to give the humor. So humors, they can laugh, okay, they will have more energy, not too serious. Okay, you are serious to teach some things and then never give the smile. Okay, I think this is not a good teacher. But a good teacher, sometimes you can smile, you can teach well, you can give humor and etc. I think those aspects have been explained by me at the previous slides. Okay, the next one is positive verbal behaviors. Okay, you can see clear message, respectful, encouraging, appropriate use of praise, pause, clear dictions, modulate tone. So they are very basic for teachers, especially in the teaching process. Clear messages, and then respectful to your students, encouraging your students, appropriate use of praise. You can give the praise to your student, and then sometimes you need pause and then clear diction. So by having clear diction, your students can understand well about what you are talking about, modulate tones and etc. And the next one, okay, developing your role. The first one, by having honesty, openness, respect. Okay, there are most important aspects: honesty, openness, and respect. If you never respect to your students, I think it's impossible for you to deliver something to your students, because we must be respect to our students. Sometimes, okay, there is something takes place for our students' daily life, okay, and that it can affect them to the classroom activities. So please respect. You must be able to know more about the background of your students, about his or her families, and etc. So it can make you, okay, it can make you feel easy to teach them. And the next one is developing your role. Be professional, look professional. And the next one, set professional expectation. A good teacher must be professional. A professional one means you can decide, you can make the position wherever you are. Sometimes you are a good teacher, sometimes you are the best friends for them, sometimes you are the best teacher, sister or brother for them, and etc. Look professional can be seen from your appearance, about your language, about your way to teach them. And the next one, set professional expectation. It means every teacher has expectations. If you are teaching something, your expectations is that your material can be understood well by your students. So this is the goal, because we can decide how to deliver, and then the target is every teacher, every student can understand well from what? From the test you give, from the result of the test. It can be reflected by you that your materials had been delivered well or not. And the next one is strategies. You can give prompts and then cues. Why? Both of them are very basic one for you. You must be able to know more, to give them some things, to give them energy and etc. And when problems arrive, okay, a little bit, And then the first one is stay calm, speak to the people privately in a quiet voice. If they make a mistake, never speak to your students in front of many people or in front of many pupils. Establish eye contact and call the pupil by name, by giving smile, by giving good expressions and etc. And then state any comments are positive, do rather than negative, don't. Okay, just do, don't less. Okay. Use clear and descriptive terms so that the pupils knows exactly what is expected. So every teacher must be able to describe about something well. So every student can be understand well about something you have described before. The next one, when problems arise, stay calm, speak to the pupil privately already. When problems arise, mismatch between words and nonverbal signals. Okay, and the next one, pause to think before reacting to provocative behavior. The next one, do not become entangling and protect discussion. Do not try to curse or force a pupil to comply. So we must be able to design our classroom. So our classroom is the second home for our students. So there will be a good expression. They will miss our classroom every time. So never make your students, okay, they have no will to come back to our classroom. So we can design by giving the greetings, by giving the good materials, by explaining more, and etc. Next, okay, pitfalls, mismatch between words and nonverbal signals. Pause to think before reacting already. Practice steps to avoid conflict. The first one, overface savvy exit strategies. The second one, act in positive ways. Okay, just positive ways. The third one, agree fair behavior consequences and forms. Avoid making demands of pupils when they are upset. So every teacher must be able to know the conditions of our students. If they fail to our subject, our topic, so you must be able to know more what is the problem. The next one is um, by understanding this one, okay, every teacher can be understand well about how to communicate, because a good communications can be taken place, can be delivered to our students. So that is why every student can be happy, can get, or maybe can accept all the materials you have taught to your students. So as the conclusion is, a good teacher must be able to be a communicative person. By becoming a communicative person, it means you can communicate with your students, you can deliver, you can transfer knowledge, you can transfer message to your students, so the message can be accepted well by your students. And the next one is, a good teacher is a good learner. So by attending every class every day, you are learning about your students, about your conditions, and about your communication. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Wow. Sir, I was at awe while you were speaking. You were giving so many lessons. I have started teaching students, and I do feel a lot of difficulties because sometimes I feel like why my students are not responding to me, or why my energy is not vibing with them. So it was really informative. All the points that you've discussed, I have a lot of questions. But before that, I would invite my participants to come in the chat box and drop all your questions. All right. So, we have a question from Akriti Bharadwaj. She's asking, is there a way we can measure or assess effective communication?
Pardon, miss?
I would repeat, sir. She's asking, is there a way we can measure effective communication?
Okay, it's not very clear.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. I'll repeat my question. She's asking, is there a way we can measure effective communication? That is her question.
Is
There a way?
oh,
Measure?
is there a way to measure our effective communication?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, is there a way to measure our effective communication, especially A measurement for a good communication, sometimes it can be measured from what? From the target. Okay, if we can transfer a message, okay, this is the concept of communication. If we can transfer a message and that the receptor can understand well about the message we have delivered, so the message successfully delivered to our students or to many people. Sometimes we keep talking, but the message cannot be delivered. So the message can be failed. So is there a way? Yeah, we have a way. In the speaking, because I'm an English lecturer, okay, and we try to analyze the speaking, we have many factors, okay? There are many elements in understanding the speaking subject. For example, like eye context, dictation, and about tones, about the pronunciation, and etc. About the stress, about length, and etc. So there are many elements for researching a speaking subject. So is there a way to what's it to measure effective communication? Yes,
Yes, yes,
there is. But about the
yes,
level,
sir.
it is different, right? Okay.
Yes,
If you
yes,
want
sir.
to
I get your point.
yes, if you want to test the good communications, you can make ice breaking. Okay, you can invite 10 people. Okay, 10 people. We can invite 10 people. You give two sentences. You give 10 sentences to the first audience, and then the first audience give to the next audience. Okay, trust me, the message cannot be delivered well. If you have done the ice breaking, right? Okay, if I give the outbound training, sometimes I give the test. I give you two sentences. Okay, I give you to the first participant, and the first participant give to the second one to the third one. Trust me, the message cannot be delivered well. Why? Because it depends on our understanding, miss. Okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
my answer.
Certainly, sir. You answered it perfectly. I
Yeah,
would like to ask Akriti if that answer your question.
yeah.
So we have another question. I'll just
Yes,
quickly ask.
sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Got my answer. And firstly, I would like to thank Anjali Bharadwaj for inviting me in this meeting. I feel very pleasure. And my second question to you, sir, is how important is listening in communication?
Or listening, yeah. Okay, how important listening in the communications? Okay, okay, I would like to answer. If you have good listening comprehension, okay, it means by having good listening
Yes,
skills,
how important.
okay, if we have good listening skills, it means we can listen well about the message that have been delivered by the speaker. Where is the problem? The problem is in our speaking skills. So that is why if you are doing TOEFL test, okay, for me as an English lecturer, which one is the hardest one to do the TOEFL test? Trust me, the hardest one is the listening skills. Why? Okay, different people, different accent. Different country, different accents. For example, if we try to speak in India styles, okay, in Thailand language, in English, like this one. If Indonesia, I think for English speaking skills is very good. If you go to the airport in Indonesia, okay, the dialect like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kuala Namu International Airport. That is the message from the operator. If you go to Bangkok, okay, if you go to Bangkok and then you are the airport, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dengmo Airport. That is a problem? No, because language is formed in the society. Okay, by having good understanding or communication skills, it means we can understand about the message. If you go to the Singapore or Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen, okay, the dialogue of the Chinese, okay, it is very appear. So, and the next one is a English style from India also. It is a problem? No, because society, language is in the society. So
Yes, sir.
can I have fluent English? I think as I'm Indonesian, I cannot make English is what say like native people. Why? Because I was not born in the native language in native country. So that is why we need to learn. So back to the
Yes,
question.
sir.
Is
Yes, it comes up to being patient.
Yes.
and listening and cooperating with
A
others.
good listener, okay, can understand every message that delivered by the speaker. So please,
Thanks so much, sir. You
Miss,
are indeed a pleasure to
so that is
learn.
why our Lord give only one mouth and then 2 ears. It means more listening than talking.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much.